Yes, boys, so just finished a killer gym workout. Every single workout in this beautiful country of Thailand is an absolute killer because it's always just 30 degrees. It's mad. So this is technically my last full day in Thailand. Tomorrow I've got a flight back, but I've got a little bit of time in the morning and the afternoon to enjoy this beautiful country one last time. But I want to talk to you two things today very quickly. Let me just get a towel, sort myself out because it's fucking sweaty, bruv. But two things. Number one is time and how... Number one is time and how your time is obviously the most valuable asset. And I don't want to waste your time by talking about things you've already heard before, because I understand that you have probably already heard all the bullshit. Like, oh, you know, make sure you're not wasting your time on video games and make sure you're not wasting your time on stuff that doesn't make you money, etc. And fucking hell, we should do a Luke Spurgeon day in the life vlog one day, boys. This is the little setup. That's my girls corner right there. This is the bed, suitcases and shit down there. Lovely stuff. So I'm not gonna waste your time. Your time is absolutely valuable. And what I mean by this is where you direct your physical and mental energy. So you always know that I like to talk differently and quite deeply about certain topics. I don't want to just say the same things like, yeah, you know what, bro, your time's valuable. Let's not waste it playing video games. Go and put it into a side hustle. Go and do drop shipping. Go and do e-commerce instead. I'm not going to say all this generic bullshit you've already heard before, right? When I say your time is valuable and you should absolutely prioritize it over anything else, and I mean literally anything else, because time, obviously it's the one thing you can't buy back, and once it's gone, once you've wasted it, that's it. You know, you can dwell on it all that you want, but it's not that time that you spent in the physical realm doing something that you shouldn't have been doing. That's not going to come back. It's gone now. So we must understand going forward away from this video, right, is every single second that you're spending. Obviously, I'm not going to try and be an extremist and say you should be working all the time and constantly making money and never ever take time to enjoy yourself. I was in the club just last night until fucking 5 in the morning. Do you know what I mean? Life doesn't always have to be productive, so to speak, but when you are in a productive mode, when you tell yourself, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to do some work, or when you tell yourself, I want to make some money today, what you must do is dedicate your physical and mental energy to that one task with no distractions. Now, this is what I mean when I say your time is valuable, okay? If I was to record these YouTube videos right now, okay, I've previously just said to myself when I was in the gym, I am in productive mode. Right now, I'm working out. This is productive mode. After that, I'm going to get the tasks done. I'm going to do some community posts. I'm going to schedule them in advance. I'm going to do my Telegram posts. I'm going to post to my Instagram and, you know, talk to some of the coaching clients, etc. Then I'm going to record some videos. So I'm in a work flow right now. This is a productive flow. This is not time for me to sit down and watch Netflix with my girl. It's not time for me to sit and eat. It's not time for me to chill out, although I'm just laying in bed, right? It's time for me to do some work. So when I'm in this mode, what my mind is doing is nothing but dedication to the task. Okay, and this is something that I previously used to not do. For example, when I used to work a 9-to-5 job and then wonder why my business wasn't doing as well as I wanted it to. Why am I not getting as many YouTube subscribers? Why am I not popping off? Why am I not making loads of money? What's going on? You know, I'm advertising it. I'm talking about the coaching in the description. Why is no one clicking it? What's happening? It's simply because I wasn't dedicating enough mental and physical and spiritual and sexual and whatever else energy into the thing that I truly wanted the most. So if you're working on your business right now and you're wondering why you're not getting the results that you want, it is, I promise you right now, forget about all the complications, forget about all the limiting beliefs, forget about all the, no, well, it's because of these technical difficulties, forget about all the technical shit. I promise you right now, it's simply because you are not sitting down and dedicating enough time, number one, and energy, number two, into the thing that you want. As soon as I told you boys this story before, just before I left for Thailand, right? A month before I left for Thailand, I had minus money in my bank account. And I was so desperate because I told my girl, I promise you I will be in Thailand in August, right? I had minus £100 in my bank. Do you understand how expensive Thailand flights are? Just the flights alone. Do you understand how expensive they are? So for me to go from minus £100 in the bank to then being able to book a flight to Thailand and stay for an entire month with no worries, in that short space of time, right? I've already spoken about how I did that, but I can go a little bit more in depth if you'd like me to, which I'm sure you would. But the point being is, I was so desperate, I actually started to work a 9-to-5 job. I was like, right, fuck it, I'm going to get a job, I'm going to make the money through the job, and by the end of the month, cool, I'll be good to go. I worked 2 shifts at that job. It was a restaurant job in the airport, in Manchester Airport, and I got it specifically the airport because I thought it would inspire me. because I could see everyone with the shorts on and shit and the suitcases getting ready to go on holiday. I'm like, yeah, that'll be me. I visualized it. That would be me. I visualized exactly how I wanted it to go, and it happened. But point being, I worked 2 shifts. I was like, fuck this. Why am I doing this to myself? I realized I was being desperate. I realized I was operating from a place of scarcity rather than abundance. I realized I believed in my brain I need to work a job in order to make money fast, and in order to make money in a, what's the word I'm looking for, bro? In a secure way where I know for a fact, where it's a confirmation that I'm going to have the money, right? That was my mindset. And when I flipped it and simply understood that, okay, number one, I believe that I can make money, quickly in the short space of time through what I'm currently doing with YouTube and coaching and video courses. I believe that I could do that. So I quit the job after 2 shifts, and I simply said to myself, I'm going to dedicate every single waking hour of my day, either thinking, so that's the mental energy, about my business, about how I can improve it, about how I can make more money and make more sales and improve my, growth online and my reach to people, right? So even my mental energy was focused on it all day, or my physical energy was focused on it, meaning I was literally physically recording the videos and making money, right? So they were the 2 things that I started to change. And when I started to really prioritize my time, and I started to do this thing where I'd go out to coffee shops back in Manchester, I'd go out to coffee shops away from all the distractions. This is what I'm going to talk about in a second. This is the second point I want to talk about, right? I know this is a lot of information to take in, but I'm just going to keep spitting facts because I'm freestyling this shit. There's nothing here. There's no script. I'm just chilling with the gains, and I'm freestyling. So I'm going to just keep talking, whatever comes to my brain. Hopefully you can just latch onto one thing. It's going to click in your mind and you can make that change and make some fucking money, right? So I would take time, because previously I was in a 9-to-5 job. I was thinking to myself, well, the reason I get paid for a 9-to-5 job is because I'm dedicating 8 hours, minimum, whatever, dedicated hours with no distractions. I have 1 break, whatever, but for the most part, 8 hours of just consistent work without doing anything else. So I thought, all right, let me do that, but with my business. And then I thought, well, what problems stopped me from doing that? Why wasn't I doing that beforehand? Why was that not already the norm? Well, number one, I get too comfortable. All right, that's the first problem, which I think you can relate to, is you get too comfortable when you're working on your own business and you have to do your own work. There's no boss telling you what to do. There's no boss telling you when to get up and stuff like that. That's a beauty and a curse when it comes to your own business, when it comes to being an entrepreneur. Because even today, for example, like I said, I was on a night out last night. I got back at like 5 a.m. I'm on holiday, so I'll let myself off and I make up for it by training hard and, doing extra work and whatever. But I woke up at like fucking midday, like 12 p.m, lunchtime, right? I got out of bed and woke up today after that night out, which is fine, but again, at the end of the day, that's a lot of time wasted, isn't it? I could have woke up at like fucking 8 o'clock. Yeah, it's a couple hours sleep, whatever, but you're getting the work done, make up for the sleep the next day. So I sacrificed a lot of time today. And the point being is because as an entrepreneur, you're going to have these days where you just get too comfortable. If you're the only person that has to tell yourself, get up and go and do the work, sometimes, as you know, your mind always take the comfortable option. It's going to try and find an excuse to not do that. Just have a lie in today, it'll be all right. It's always going to try and give you the comfortable option, right? You must understand that. You must not listen to it and do what you know you need to do. I know that I've got tasks I need to do, regardless of how I feel, regardless if I'm on holiday and I just want to lie in bed and have sex and fucking eat shitty food all day. I've been doing that too, believe me. But the work still needs to be done. So, number one problem is you get too comfortable. The number 2 problem is the distractions around you and the home comforts that you're usually working in just take your mind out of the flow state. And this is what I wanted to talk about as well. The reason I bring myself to a coffee shop, for example, or literally anywhere, I might just go to the park and sit on a bench if it's a nice day. The point being is I'll take myself to my work location, to my shift location. And this is where it gets exciting, right? Because as an entrepreneur, you can choose where you want to work, what time you want to work, how long you want to work for. This is all up to you. And that's such a beautiful thing. If you've ever worked a 9-to-5 and you value your freedom and you realize how shitty 9-to-5 jobs are, to be able to say to yourself, right, you know what, today I'm going to have an 8-hour shift because I choose to. I'm going to go and find a nice place to sit. You can go and work anywhere you want. Today I fancy going to the coffee shop in the city centre, so I'm going to go there. You know what, today, just for whatever reason, I fancy just going to the airport. Because for me, I just like the airport. It's just a nice vibe. I don't know what it is. I'm not going on no planes, but fuck it. I'll just go to the airport, I'll get some food, I'll sit at the airport cafe and I'll just do some work. And that's my work day, because I choose for it to be that way, you know? So you can tell I haven't recorded videos in a while. Fucking hell, stuttering like a madman. It's crazy. But unfiltered, I want to show you, it's raw. This is how life is. Every now and then you're going to have these dips up and down. You're not always going to be perfect. You got to embrace all of life's experiences with confidence, right? I'm not ending the video because I stuttered a couple of times. It is what it is. You move on with confidence. There you go. That's another life lesson. Bro, I'm just full of gems, lad. You know what I mean? How do I not have more subs? What's going on? Anyway, listen. Point being, I'll take myself to a coffee shop, I'll put my headphones in, put some music on, I will sit down, I'll set myself an allocated shift time, so I'll get there at 12 p.m, and I'll say, right, we're going to work all the way until 5 p.m, right? That's my work shift for the day. I'm not going anywhere, I'm not doing anything else until I've hit that time at 5 p.m, then I'm out. So I'll sit there and I'll literally just write fucking hundreds of community posts. I'll reach out to, 50 different clients, I'll follow up some leads that I had that I was working on, or whatever it may be. I'll, update my video courses landing page. I'll just sit there for hours just doing that work with no distractions, with no bed near me that I can just, maybe I'll just go and lie down for a little bit. None of this shit. There's no family members running around in the background. There's no distractions at all. And this is the key point. So once you've mastered your time side of things, that's step one. Once the time has been sorted out and you understand, okay, my time is valuable, I need to make sure that either I'm thinking about work non-stop, because when you think about something, you're naturally going to come up with more ideas, you're going to get that creative flow going, and you're also going to just naturally get closer to the goal by thinking about it, right? Or obviously your physical energy, you're actually physically doing the tasks to get you closer towards your goals. So for example, if you want to lose weight and that's your goal, your time is valuable, because the more physical time and mental time that you spend working towards losing weight, the more that you'll get the results that you want, right? Rather than saying, like, this is the example that people use, right? They work a 9-to-5 job. I understand some of you guys have responsibilities, you live by yourself, you've got kids, whatever it may be, different situations, right? I get that. I'm not trying to be insensitive. But people will say, I don't have any time. And they work a 9-to-5. And it's like, well, if you have the option to reduce those 9-to-5 hours and work part-time, do that. When I used to work back at the Zipline job last year, I reduced my hours. I've never worked full-time in my entire life. I made sure I always worked part-time, and I put every other waking hour into my business. And that's how I pulled it off. And before I knew it, I kind of just decided, well, fuck this. I'm just going to quit and just not do any 9-to-5 job, because it's a complete waste of time. Those extra 2 days that I'm doing in a 9-to-5, I could be putting into the business. More success, more money, more growth. So once you've got the time side of things sorted, that's when step 2 comes in. And this is the flow state, which you've probably either heard of before, or you absolutely have heard of it before. I know for a fact you have if you're in this space, right? You've either heard of it before or you've actually experienced it before. I remember I used to play video games back in the day. Obviously, I was the fucking best at every video game I ever touched. It's just a mindset, bruv. But anyway, I'd get into these modes sometimes where I'd be playing the video game against some like really, really good players, right? And I'd just absolutely shit on them. I'd be fucking on my A game. I wouldn't even realise how I did it. I'd watch my clips back after I'd fucking annihilated the whole team, and I'd be like, bro, how did I even do that? I don't even remember what was going through my head at the time. It was like I was just in the zone. There was no other thoughts in my brain other than the task at hand. And I've experienced that in so many different situations. In combat sports, when I'm boxing, there's no other thoughts. When I'm recording this, there's no other thoughts. Every single time you get into a present state of mind where you are kind of just flowing and there's no other thoughts in your brain, that is a flow state. And this is exactly what I'm in right now. This is why when people ask me, when I coach people, for example, about how to improve the YouTube channel, and I've taken guys anywhere from 200 subscribers to 2K in like a week, like literally serious. Do you know how fucking good that is, by the way? I don't think if any of you boys don't understand YouTube algorithm and how hard it is to grow. From 200 to 2K in just over a week is fucking insane, right? And the reason I've done that is because I've learned from years and, the whole year that I've been in YouTube and the months and trial and error mistakes, all the things that I've had to learn the hard way, I've been able to just pass that on to these guys, for $50 an hour. You spend that on takeaway sometimes, you know what I mean? Anyway, point being is, I've coached guys before about YouTube, and they always ask me, like, how do you speak? Because, they understand the whole game, the titles, the clickbait, blah, blah, blah. But how do you speak so confidently on camera? And obviously I can give them little tips, like learn to read and write properly, learn to, become more articulate, slow down, breathe when you speak, get some oxygen to your brain so your brain can actually process the words that you're saying properly, right? Little things like that. But the main point is I'm flowing. I'm in a flow state when I record. So I don't have to think. I don't need a script because it's all from the brain. It's all from the heart. and I can just flow and literally talk for hours and hours. You boys probably know that I can chat shit for hours, bruv. And the funny thing is, I never used to be like this. When I was younger, when I was 17, I used to stutter, I used to have nothing to say, no life experience, no stories to tell. I was awkward and shy, just a weirdo, bruv. Flow state is very, very powerful. The only way that you can get into it is with a perfect balance between presence, so actually, focusing all of your mental energy into one task with no distractions. If my girl was in the room right now, I could probably still pull it off, but let's say my girl was in the room and she was doing her makeup and she was playing music in the background or something. I couldn't flow the same like I'm doing right now with no one in the room, whereas if she was there was a little bit of a distraction, right? So you need presence, number one, and you do that by eliminating as many distractions as possible and putting your full focus into the task at hand. And number two, you do that through the right level of challenge as well, which is quite an interesting one because sometimes you can't really create this yourself. But back to the video game example, the reason I get into a flow state was because obviously I was present, I was focused on the game, but number two, I was also playing against some very good players. So that was a level of challenge, right? And when you commit to that fully with no distractions, that's when you start to flow. That is also when you start to produce your best results, okay? So I hope you can take something from this. I'm not going to chat shit any longer. I don't want to bombard you with a million different things. My brain is almost like a knowledge tank, and honestly, there's so much I want to say. There's so much that I want to teach you boys that I've learned through literally painful, fucking embarrassing experiences through my life. I'm 21. I'm only 21, brother. I'm 22 this year, but, I've gone through a lot, and I'm not saying this to be a stop story or nothing. I'm just saying because it helps you understand who I am as a person. I've gone through a lot of different ups and downs in my life, and also I think I'm a very introspective individual, so I take in things, I really analyze shit, I really think deeply about things. Therefore, I can not only learn from it for myself, but I can learn from it in a way where I can teach it to you. So, maybe you like me chatting shit, maybe you like the long form, dragged out videos where it's a bit more personal, me and you are just chilling. I mean, we're in bed together, that's a bit dodgy, but still, it's Thailand, bruv, so, what happens in Thailand stays in Thailand now, right? But listen, it's been good to see you, as always, bro. Thank you for taking the time to tune in and show some love. If you have made it to this far, 17 minutes of your time has been a positive one, that's for sure. You're either going to be inspired by this, you're either going to be motivated, a reminder for you to stay on the right track, or you're actually going to learn something that you didn't know before. Regardless, comment the word rapid down below in the comment section if you are staying to this end, just to show that you are a real fucking G and you can actually sit through with a good attention span and pay attention to something. This shows you are serious about your self-improvement. If you've stayed this long and you go down and comment the word rapid, it shows me you're serious. And I'm taking notes, by the way, boys. When I've made it to the top and I'm at a million subs or some shit, I'm taking notes of the boys that are serious about this shit because I want to create a brotherhood. I want to create a network of individuals. So keep that in mind. Coaching is down below in the description and the comments. The video course for mastering your sexual energy is also down there as well. If you struggle with pornography or premature ejaculation or erectile dysfunction, that's down there too. See you soon, lad. Take care.